Hello everyone, greetings from Zagreb. My name is Ivana Gace and I'm a PhD student. I will introduce a new mobility solution known as Mobility as a Service, or shortly MaaS. Additionally, I will present you what MaaS can offer us and what are the main challenges regarding MaaS. I will start the presentation with an example. This is me, and as I already said, I'm a PhD student at the Faculty of Electrical Engineering and Computing at the University of Zagreb. Zagreb is located in the northwest of the Republic of Croatia. Zagreb is the largest city and the capital city of Croatia. My place of birth is Dubrovnik. Dubrovnik is a city in the southern Croatia fronting the Adriatic Sea. Now I'll introduce you more closely these two cities that are very important to me. Here are some brief information about two cities. Zagreb is a continental town. It is cultural, scientific, economic, political and administrative center of Croatia. It has more than 800,000 inhabitants, while Dubrovnik is a city by the sea, known as one of the most outstanding touristic destinations in the Mediterranean Sea. It has around 42,000 inhabitants. As you can see, there is a big difference between these two cities. One is industrial, while the other is a touristic center. Also, the number of inhabitants emphasizes the difference between cities. On the left side you can see Zagreb. It is a city with a rich history and interesting buildings. Cathedral on the left picture is one example. Additionally, it has beautiful relaxing places such as lakes and parks. On the right side is Dubrovnik. It has a beautiful old city with a long tradition. It is famous for its city walls and beautiful blue sea. In addition to this beauty, we will look at cities from the other perspective. This perspective represents cities from a different, not that much pretty view. Zagreb as well as Dubrovnik is struggling with the traffic jams. Photos on the left side are taken near the Zagreb city center. It was a winter morning and you can see a lot of private cars and also trams that are stuck at the road. Analyzing the situation, it could be said that winter contributes to increased number of cars on the road, as well as the fact that a large number of people in the morning have daily obligations that they have to do. Right photos represent congestion in Dubrovnik near the old town. Photos are taken in the summer period and two of them are after the rain. In summertime, Dubrovnik counts more people due to touristic season and it creates a crowd. Also, rain is one of the main factors that slows down the traffic in small towns like Dubrovnik. You can look on the right top photo. Besides private cars, taxi, local and touristic buses are causing congestion problem too. The congestion problem is not characteristical just for Zagreb or Dubrovnik. Other cities are also struggling with this problem. Statista reported that in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, every driver spent 190 hours in traffic congestion in 2019, which is approximately 8 days. This is followed by Rome in Italy with 166 hours, also with Paris, Dublin and other cities. Another problem that contributes to congestion is the lack of parking lots. In the United Kingdom, drivers spend approximately 44 hours a year searching for a parking place. The number is followed by Germany, 41 hours, and the United States, where they spend 17 hours a year. Cities have specific limitations due to their infrastructure and cannot easily provide enough space that a parking lot requires. The transportation sector, in addition to the listed problems, faces other issues, such as negative environmental impact with increased pollution and noise pollution, poorer safety, and higher traffic costs. To conclude, the transportation sector is considered to be one of the challenges mainly caused by urbanization. Urbanization is the process of expanding cities, transforming rural areas into cities, and an increase in the urban population. United Nations and its Department of Economic and Social Affairs estimated that in 2018, 55% of the world's population lived in urban areas, and they predict that 68% of the world's population will be living in urban areas by 2050. Considering all the facts mentioned before, it can be concluded that the transport sector is challenging for all. Moreover, conclusion is that congestion and parking issues, as well as other issues that urbanization brings, are worldwide problems. Mobility as a service represents the solution to the problems in transportation sector. It is a concept in which different transportation options are integrated and offered to the users in order to meet their mobility needs. It relies on the digital platform where the provision of transport is managed and payment and booking services are integrated as well. Let's look at an example. If you want to get from point A to point B, just take your MaaS application. You need to set the starting and destination point, and MaaS will offer you several options. For example, let's look what option 2 offers. It first offers you to take a walk. Afterwards, you will need to cycle for a few minutes. Then you need to take a local bus, and at the end you need to use a rent car to get to the desired location. If this option suits you, you can easily book it and do the payment through the application. After defining the term MaaS, we will talk about the MaaS stakeholders. MaaS stakeholders are actors who work together and receive goods by cooperating with each other. They form a MaaS ecosystem where every member has unique responsibilities and goals. There is a diverse representation of MaaS stakeholders and different understandings of the MaaS ecosystem. Some of them are investors, government, ticketing and payment services, transport operators, IT providers, insurance companies, passengers, and so on. Besides all mentioned, it is decided to present MaaS through four main actors. That is the reason why quadruple helix model is presented on the slide. The model consists of four main actors, including the academia, the civil society, the industry, and the government. Actors interact and collaborate to create social innovation activities. Social innovations are innovations that try to satisfy the social needs and to improve the quality of life. Such model is used to map the MaaS stakeholders. The academia and the government in terms of MaaS ecosystem are unchanged, while the civil society is mapped into the passenger and the industry into the transport operators. MaaS actors collaborate together to create MaaS. The academia is responsible for the scientific part of innovation. Academia serves to make high-quality research and produce knowledge that will reach large visibility. High ranking and big number of citations make the scientific paper more valuable. With its knowledge, research, and reasoning, the academia contributes to new understanding. Finally, acquired research knowledge can be used to improve MaaS. The second MaaS stakeholder is passenger. The main idea behind MaaS is to improve passengers' mobility in aspects such as the cost reduction, avoiding traffic jams, and faster transfer speed. Benefit that passengers expect from MaaS is reliable transport presented in easy-to-use way with intuitive booking and payment options. Flexibility of MaaS in the route choice, travel or sharing ride is a feature that gives passengers freedom to choose and change mobility options that suits them best. Next, MaaS can improve life quality and enhance social inclusion. This is especially important for those who do not own cars, rural inhabitants, elderly people, and people with disabilities. Passengers' main contribution to the MaaS ecosystem is data they provide. Data will be used to profile a passenger regarding his/her interests and mobility habits. Additionally, passengers can offer their own transport options and take part in a sharing economy. Transport operators represent an industry component in the quadruple helix model. Generally speaking, the industry success is measured by profit. Transport operators will be part of MaaS in order to increase revenues. The main role of a transport operator is to offer flexible and reliable transport options which will be acceptable in terms of price. Transport operators in MaaS will improve mobility in suburban and rural routes by offering an alternative way of transport. Transport operators generate a large amounts of data which additionally enrich the MaaS ecosystem. Data is shared among the MaaS stakeholders, and with this information they can contribute and improve MaaS. Finally, the last MaaS stakeholder is the government. The main task of the government is to make regulations that will improve collaboration and contributions of MaaS participants. Government with the laws, regulation, taxes and support can limit, direct and be involved in MaaS decision making. Government is called a backbone of MaaS, as it has the potential to regulate transport operators and affect the demand for transportation. For example, it can reduce the risk of monopoly of transport operators. In return, government benefits with better utilization of the existing transport infrastructure, efficient transport network, and better spatial utilization. Consequently, MaaS provides cost reduction and economic growth. The main deliverable of MaaS is its sustainability and environmental awareness. MaaS entails numerous challenges as well as opportunities. Some of them have already been mentioned through MaaS stakeholder descriptions. However, they will be considered and analyzed more closely here. Data often has an important role in the way today's systems work. The case is same in the MaaS-based system where data is one of the most significant components, possibly even the most significant one. The first challenge to tackle is data security. Considering that in MaaS data is integrated and shared, it is crucial to protect it. The next challenge that should be considered is data privacy. MaaS users, especially passengers, provide different data, and some of that data is very confidential, for example, credit card data or location data. Considering the data is generated from different sources, aggregation of that numerous data and its usability is another significant challenge. A limiting factor in the MaaS service development is related to the application program interface. Therefore, a need to standardize the API has become up in order to make the interoperability easier and the development process more efficient. Making the data, especially one provided by transport operators, more open and available through the application program interface is an additional benefit. This, however, brings challenges related to the data ownership and licensing. Therefore, it is important to define the requirements carefully without causing loss of user trust or their giving up on MaaS. Readiness to move up from classic, well-known service in mobility to new ones that are ecologically beneficial and include different forms of transport is additional challenge that MaaS brings. With MaaS, users would give up benefits that private ownership brings, such as mobility freedom and anytime available mobility. Users also dislike the idea of sharing a vehicle with a stranger, which will mean sacrificing their comfort. In addition to the passengers' problem of adapting to MaaS, there is also the problem of transport operators' adaptation. They don't want to lose revenues as well as users that are loyal to them. Chicken and egg strategy problems occurs whenever the value proposition to two separate groups is dependent on penetration in the other. In the case of MaaS, with the number of transport operators driving attractiveness to passenger, and likewise the number of passengers driving attractiveness to transport operators. Considering that MaaS integrates different forms of transport, the key challenge is routing strategy for the vehicles and allocation of the vehicle fleet. Research related to the routing problem is an old problem and in the literature is known as the traveling salesman problem. There is another problem called the dial-a-ride problem derived from traveling salesman problem. The dial-a-ride problem plans the route and specifies the pick-up and arrival time based on the request and the given starting and destination points. Next challenge is related to the promising technologies. Autonomous vehicles as an innovative technology bring many opportunities in terms of MaaS. Their advantages include resolving the issues of vehicle redistribution in the transportation sector. Except for autonomous vehicles, there are electric vehicles that are omnipresent in current transport system and are searching for its place in MaaS too. Now, the two real-life examples that implement MaaS will be presented. Ubigo is a mobility service that is a product of the Go Smart project established in Sweden, Gothenburg. The main goal of the Ubigo service is to offer passengers a transportation option that suits them best and help them apply that offer in real life by changing their habits. Ubigo service integrates current transport services that include public transport, as well as taxi, car sharing, bike sharing, and car rental. The method of payment was adjusted to the user's transport needs and was released as a monthly subscription in price amount. Smartphone is obligatory so that the Ubigo application can be used properly. The Ubico trial service was used by 195 people for 6 months. Users were surveyed with mixed method approaches. The users stated that they use car sharing and rent-a-car services more than usual. They also stated that there is not good traffic cover in areas outside of the city. Additionally, they did not like Ubigo's business model because of the few subscription options. As conclusion remark, they stated that it is crucial that the cities or regional authorities are the main managers of the system. The following example is the Vim application from MaaS Global Company. The purpose of the Vim application is to provide users with various forms of public transport that is easy accessible and they can use it in the way that suits them best. Transport options that were included were public transportation, taxi, rent-a-car, car sharing, and bike sharing. Application was presented for the first time in Helsinki, Finland, and at the end of 2018, it had 70,000 registered users. Additionally, users were able to plan their own transportation and pay through the application. Vim offered 3 options: Vim to go, Vim Urban, and Vim Unlimited. The Vim to go option does not require monthly allocation, but pay-as-you-go is achieved through the Vim application. The data collected through the Vim application was compared with other transport options in Helsinki. Some of the comparison results are that public city transport was used 63% through the WIM application, while without use of WIM application was 48%. Public transport was included in 95%, while taxi 2.1% of all trips by the WIM application. The use of cycling also increased and counts 30 minutes before and 90 minutes after using public transport. Considering travel zones, WIM trips are mostly concentrated in urban areas. Moreover, researchers stated that WIM will spread more easily in areas where public transport is available. To conclude, urbanization process brings challenges to the transportation sector, and the world is facing problems such as the congestion problem, parking problem, pollution, and many others that are transport related. Mobility as a service is a new solution which exploits the benefits of information and communication technology to improve current transportation system. The MaaS strives to minimize dependency on private vehicles and support adaptation to other modes of transport, which reduce congestion as well as contribute to environmental sustainability. It is important to know who are the main stakeholders, what are their needs and wants in the context of MaaS. Additionally, MaaS brings a lot of challenges. But challenges are something that makes the MaaS more interesting and desired to research. At the end, the real-life examples shows that the idea of MaaS is achievable. Thank you for your attention and please feel free to contact me if you have any questions.